Welcome back, everyone, to your podcast, our podcast, the Popular Side podcast. As always, you have Mr. Yinka Yusuf
Hello, people. How are we doing?
and Akadike.
Yes,
Yinka,
boss.
today is Sunday, the 28th of September,
Yes, it
2025.
is. Yes, it is.
Uh, we're recording in the evening. The sun's shining where I'm at.
Yeah.
Um, life is good. The Eagles are good. NFL Eagles, not Super Eagles. I don't care about the Super Eagles anymore. I'm pretending they don't exist. Um, NFL Eagles are playing the toughest schedule in the history of the NFL. I made that up in the last 2 seconds, and they're beating everybody up that you place in front of them. I love it. You know, every
They're,
phase of the game, they're
they're
beating
4-0 now,
everybody up.
right? I think they won
Yeah,
this year.
4-0. They're
Yeah.
4-0. They won. They won against everyone's darlings, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and their striving quarterback. Won against him. No one's gonna congratulate us, but that's okay. We don't need congratulations.
When did Tampa Bay become everybody's darling?
Everybody loves them now, Yinka. They can't
Oh,
stop talking about Baker Mayfield. And then we
really?
went to their house and punched them in the mouth repeatedly. But, what do I know?
Okay.
That's how they loved the Rams last week. We beat them. We don't get any credit. It's okay, though. It's okay.
It's
I'm
all right.
used to it.
It's
I'm
all
used
right.
to it. And
But
then Arsenal,
that's not exactly. That's not the only
no,
reason why you're happy.
it's not the only reason. Last week I told you people, I'm like, this
Hmm.
is crazy. Be calming down. I said it. So, okay, Yinka, this week, an 8 point gap could have been opened up between Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay, based on the chatter last week, you would
Mm-hmm.
have thought we will finish this weekend of games with 8 points between number one and Arsenal, wherever Arsenal
Mm-hmm.
would have finished.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy to declare the gap is 2 points, not 8.
That's good.
It's a
That's
championship
good.
6 pointer, and we came up heads. I'm very
It's.
happy.
I'm happy, but it's just 6 games into the season. There is a lot of games to play, right?
I said that.
Um,
I said that.
yeah,
Did they listen?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy, and there's a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. So
Okay.
let's move on. We need to do this within 1 hour. There's a
Yes, we will.
lot to talk about. If we don't
Yes,
do
we
within
will.
1 hour, apologies in advance because there's a lot to talk about. But let's move.
When I start rambling on, please do this. Is that how you do
Okay.
timeouts?
Yeah,
Please
that's
do
time out.
this.
Mm.
Feel free to cut my mic off. Because I feel like I should take several victory laps on my enemies, but I would try to comport myself with some kind of decorum. I
No,
can't
no,
promise
just
that.
hold on the
Some
victory lap.
kind.
The victory lap is it will come, but not today. Let's just state the obvious to
Oh
people,
Lord.
and we'll leave
Yeah,
it at that.
we'll leave it at that. Okay, you're
Yeah,
you're
we'll
you're a
leave it
much kinder and nicer man than I am.
at
All right.
that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yinka,
yes, sir.
okay, we're gonna talk about the Ballon d'Or.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it happened on Monday of this past week. There are many things, in my opinion, that are wrong with the way the Ballon d'Or is adjudicated, and even with the way it's presented. I feel like UEFA, just like their cousins and overlords at FIFA, try to win too many news cycles, if that makes sense. Because so technically we've gone from calendar year awards to season awards, right? But the season has been done, Yinka, since I would say May, they would say June because of the stupid World Club Cup. But
Mm-hmm.
June was more than 3 months ago. So
Yep.
why are we just doing the Ballon d'Or for a season that ended more than 3 months ago? I would argue more than 4 months ago. But having said all that, I know
Yep.
you have a lot to talk about. So before I turn it over to you, congratulations to Senegalese, an African superstar who just happens to play for France, Ousmane Dembele. He's been through a lot in his career. From all indication, he's a good man. He's a humble guy. He's a team guy, even though that's not the stories they told us about him when he was coming up. I think I say this maybe every 3 episodes. I do not blame players for getting injured. That's just not part of my DNA. It is not your fault. Unless you're getting fat while you're getting paid, like some athletes, like some NBA players, and you're getting fat person injuries, but that happens in very, very rare circumstances. Other people, the hamstring injury, that's not your fault. Breaking your leg, that's not your fault. So I say all that to say this is a kid we both root for. I'm very happy for him. I don't know if he should have won or not. I'm happy he won. Could have been Mo Salah. But again, I know you have a lot to talk about. So go for it, sir.
Yeah, so I'll make it brief. So first things first, you cannot call him What a Pity Dembele anymore.
No.
What
a shame that I cannot.
You cannot, right? And I'll piggyback on that and say you were calling him What a Pity Dembele this season.
I was.
And for him to now come out
not because it was bad.
No. Hear me out. I'm just trying to let you know, right? What I think. And guys, you can go back to our earlier episodes. Maybe one of the first 10. We did a detailed episode on Ballon d'Or. I think it's nonsense. The way, like you said, the way it's monitored, managed, adjudicated, whatever word you want to use, it's inconsistent. In some seasons, you pick the best player in the world, as in best player physically, right? Or looking at all the parameters. In another season, you go with whatever. Oh, he's the captain of the team that won a main tournament, or he's the best player of the tournament. So I'm like, what exactly is the basis for this stuff? Growing up, my understanding of Ballon d'Or was very simple. You were the most critical, or you had the most influence on success of your team during the year. That was it.
And your team did something special.
Exactly. So that was in the success of your team. So if your team wasn't successful, sorry, go sit down. Don't get involved. You're not part of this. That was my understanding. But if your team was successful and you were pivotal to achieving that, right? Those were the candidates for Ballon d'Or. Not the best player, not Messi, Ronaldo. No. That's not how it works. But I don't get it. I don't know how it works anymore. So now, for Dembele, see, PSG won, right? They say he was the best player on PSG's team. I wholeheartedly disagree, and how I feel about this, right? Maybe because I didn't play as a striker growing up. I feel pity for people that are not strikers. The best player on PSG is not, or was not, Ousmane Dembele. It wasn't. It was Vitinha, and it wasn't even close. But because Dembele gets the headlines, he puts the ball in the back of the net. Vitinha anchored midfields at Anfield, at Arsenal, and dominated. In the final, he dominated the Milan midfield. Did Dembele even start the final? Exactly. Did Dembele even start the final? But you see my point. For me, that award should have gone to Vitinha. And you now go to the national team. He also did the same thing for Portugal. Portugal won. What did France win? Nothing.
Nations League.
But it is. Okay. Don't say nobody cares, right? Because that is the only major. Unfortunately, is the only major. How do I put it? Country tournament, national tournament that happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you have to factor it in. You have to. So I'm happy Dembele won. I understand when he was coming up, he had injuries. I'm happy for him. But at the same time, I look at it. So I was talking to one of my friends. You don't know him. One of my very, very good friends. I was like, they said Dembele won. The guy was like, why would Dembele win? I said, so who do you think you win? He said, Vitinha. I'm like, you and I didn't have this discussion. He said it's obvious that when we're growing up, if you follow the same analogy, Vitinha should have won. It's not Dembele.
Rafa Matthias in 1990.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I get it.
They didn't give it to Klinsmann. They didn't give it to Klinsmann, who was the best player. Who was the best player, but they gave
Not
it to
Fowler. They didn't give it to Rudy Fowler. Yeah.
But so that's why I said Ballon d'Or. I give up. So see, you thought Dembele's zone was egregious. Let's cross over to the female side. Aki, that one is the worst. See, I'll say this again. Aitana Bonmati is the best female player on the planet.
Yeah, for the last few years she has been.
For the last few years. And she'll probably be for the next, only God knows how long.
Yeah.
But Aitana Bonmati did not have the best year this year.
And her team did not have the best year.
Baka
lost. Our national team.
Baka lost the Champions League final. National team lost the Nations
Euros.
The
actual Euros
to England. So the only thing Bonmati won, right, was actually La Liga, right? So the only people that are rooting for Bonmati right now are the people that look at the stats. And even when you look at the stats, Alexis Putellas had a better season than Aitana Bonmati. So if you're really going to give someone on that Barcelona or Spanish national team, it should be Putellas or Mariona Caldente.
Who came second?
Who came second, by the way? But frankly, I thought the person that should have won was Alessia Russo.
She came third.
This was Russo's trophy. Number 2 should have been Leah Williamson, and Caldente should have been third. There is no way Bonmati should be in top 5. I love her. She's the best player, but she's not Ballon d'Or. I'm sorry. She's not.
Okay.
I rest my case.
May I?
Go ahead.
So, you finished with the women. Let me start with the women. So, it's obvious. So, let me put it this way. The Barcelona feminine team is historically great.
Yes.
Right? And the NWSL, that's what it's called in England.
WSL.
Right? WSL, sorry. The US one is the NWSL.
NWSL.
Okay. So, WSL, he's now getting a lot of buzz, right? But that's only like 2-3 years old, the global buzz that they get. England is having a moment right now. I think nothing you've said is wrong. I think nothing you've said is inaccurate, but you still have humans making these decisions. You know, there's a residual knowledge, right, that is pretty much carrying over for an additional year or two. And that's what these people are suffering from. It will get to a point where people will realize, oh, the balance of power shifted from Spain to England. You know, they don't understand yet. They think the Arsenal win was a fluke. I mean, think about it. Going into the final, I said anything can happen. I'm rooting for Arsenal. These girls can do it. No one had Arsenal win. Everyone thought, I mean, in the semifinals, these girls at Barcelona beat Chelsea 8-2. And Chelsea won the league over Arsenal. You understand? So, but instead of playing the result, right? They played what's the word I'm looking for? They play. No, I'm talking of the voters. Instead of playing the result, what actually happened? They played the caliber. They played the
aesthetics.
There's a word. Yeah, there's a word I'm missing that I'm looking for. They played the pedigree.
Yeah,
that's what happened. And then, Yinka, to your point about strikers is brilliant, because even among the English Arsenal girls, they put Chloe Kelly number 5 overall and number 2 amongst the England girls. And Chloe Kelly wasn't even a starter. Right? So the Leah Williamson that you mentioned comes number 7 and third among the English girls. Right? So I mean they rightly put Russo third overall, first among, the England girls, Chloe Kelly. But Chloe Kelly was a super sub. Yinka. So they were thinking about the goals more than anything. She had 3 major moments, and it was a combination of a winning goal, a winning penalty, maybe another winning goal, a winning penalty, one in the semifinal, one in the final across the 2 tournaments. So they were thinking goals more than impact. right? They were thinking, okay, so that's for the women. Let's go to the men. So this one, my biggest problem is of the 10, okay? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 of the 10 were PSG players. That's crazy. Like, I mean, this is what they did in 2010 with Barcelona, right? And then people get mad at those of us who are Messi fans when they say, "Oh, Xavi should have won or Iniesta should have won." I'm like, teammates take votes away from each other, And then they were teammates for club and country. They won the Champions League and the World Cup, right? But Messi didn't have any, World Cup winning teammates or any national teammate in the top 10. So he got it. That sometimes that happens. In this case, it didn't. Lamine Yamal at number 2 is probably more egregious to me than Dembele at number 1. Because if this is the year of who won the Champions League, what's Lamine Yamal doing here?
Okay.
What's he doing? Right? And then finally, I'll wrap on this. Before that, I think Mo Salah should have won it because I think all these PSG guys should have knocked each other out. And I hear your point on the midfield engine of it all. I really do. But I think the 30 goals was what won it for Dembele. And the fact that, I don't know, has he ever scored 25? Has he even ever scored 20 in his career?
So, 30 goals in what now?
No, all competitions. It was all competitions.
So, you and I, you know what we call the French League. We don't even talk about the French League.
I know.
So if they are really using coefficient or whatever they call it, for example, Gyökeres that scored whatever goals in Portugal.
50 in 52. Yeah,
it was. Portugal. They said for every 3 goals, you only count as 1 because of the league you're playing in.
That's crazy.
So if Dembele scores 5 hat-tricks against Le Havre or against...
they don't do that for Ligue 1, Yinka. Ligue 1 is a top 5 league, unfortunately.
No. Unfortunately, I agree with you, right? But you get where I'm coming from.
I know.
You get what I'm saying, right? This is not... See, I'm happy for the kid. Frankly, I am. Yeah. Knowing his history, his injuries and stuff, right? And frankly, I don't care. I told you I don't really care about this stuff, right? What annoys me is when people try to justify nonsense. Yeah? Come on, guys. Let's stop.
Cole Palmer was number 8. How is Cole Palmer in the top 10? Because of the Club World Cup. It's crazy. I'm sorry, Inka. It's insane.
A friendly tournament.
It's insane. That no one's going to remember. Kylian Mbappe, like I said, he had the least impactful 30 goals I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
There was zero impact. Every time there was a big game, they lost.
Zero impact.
They lost. So, I mean, for me, Ashraf Hakimi should have been higher. He's number 6. It should have been higher. If we're
Why
really doing this.
Why is Kane not on this list?
Because this team didn't win the Champions League. It's insane.
Oh, okay. So, but the Kylian win the Champions League? The Rafinha win the Champions League?
No. Again, pedigree, bro.
The Cole Palmer win the Champions League. I'm just telling you.
He won something they want to promote. He won something they want to promote.
So that means this is a political... It's just a political...
It is. But my final thing, if the Ballon d'Or loses someone like you, that's not good. I think we need to take Messi and Ronaldo and just discard those years. Not because they don't matter, but because there will never be another Ronaldo and there will certainly not be another Messi, right? And of the 13 they won between them, people can argue back and forth. Yeah. I would argue at least 10 of them were justified. At least 10 of them, one of them should have won. I'm okay with it. And whichever ones were controversial, maybe one of them should have gone to the other. Maybe maximum 2 should have gone to somebody else. Either way, for 13 years, those 2 were the best players, the best performers, the best legends, all of it, right? So you got to take those 2 out. Now, let's get back to the Lothar Matthäuses. Let's get back to what's the El Capitano of Italy? Remind me, in 2006.
Fabio Cannavaro, what was his name?
We got to get back to the Cannavaros where we see more than just goals, where we see the engine, where we
Yeah,
see,
the
the
heart
heart
of the
and soul
team,
of a team.
the influential players on the team, the people that
We will get there.
really, really delivered. Aki, I don't think so.
I think we will.
Aki,
Van
I
Dijk,
can
Van
bet
Dijk
you.
was top 3 not too long ago. We'll
Aki,
get there,
I
Yinka.
can
Go on.
bet you Lamine Yamal will be on this list for the next 10 years, even if it doesn't win
And that's
anything.
okay because they need another Ronaldo, they need another Messi. Right?
Okay.
They do. But if Kubasi keeps doing what he's doing, he will get there.
Okay.
He will.
You are quite optimistic, which is
I
unusual.
am.
I'm the it's like the roles are. I am not with you on this one at all. But like you said, time out. Let's move on.
I'm not ready to live in a world where the Ballon D'Or doesn't mean anything. That would not be good. That would be really, really bad. Okay. Yinka, that was good. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the fastest, sweep around the top 5 leagues that we've ever done. So let's just go. PSG lost last Monday. They played last month. Have they played this week? Yeah,
they won. They won this week.
Okay, they won this. But they lost to Marseille. We were kind of alluding to, hey, this is the only game that really matters. Marseille were home. Marseille's quietly rebuilt their team over the summer. I can't even say over the summer. Late in the summer. Quietly, low-key, they had a great season last season and then added, some low-key names. So, first big test, they passed it. Is this something or is this nothing?
It is something because we're 6 games into the season and PSG just ahead on goal difference. Which is unusual. So it's not only Marseille, Lyon is also pulling their weight. Actually,
which I always root for Lyon.
It's Lyon that is on the same points with PSG. Marseille have, so maybe PSG, Ligue 1 is looking at the two of us and like, you've been disrespecting us.
You've been disrespecting.
You start talking about us pretty soon. Maybe that's what's going on. But
for me, I root for Lyon men and women. Because for me, when it comes to just the purity of football, Lyon were first in guaranteeing, real money to their women, giving them real facilities, playing in real stadiums, giving them real doctors, physios, all of that stuff. During COVID, a lot of really talented women moved to France to play for them. Lyon, for me, just for the purity of football, I root for Lyon. Before money came into the men's side, they won, 7 or 8 in a row, So I don't want Lyon to that. I want them to be at the top. I think, for karma, for football gods, they've done well.
They've done well. I agree.
Let us go to Hurricane or Bundesliga, the coronation. Week 5 of the coronation.
Bundesliga, Dortmund might have something to say about that. They are proving that
No, they won't.
They are proving that they're hot on their heels. Okay, so let me just put it that way. They haven't lost the game. Also, they only drew one. That's why they're 2 points behind. So and they still have to pay each other twice. So let's keep our fingers crossed. But it's business as usual in the Bundesliga, and nothing major to report about.
One thing, a non off the field thing to report. Thomas Frank, the new manager of Spurs, was asked last week, "Hey, is it true that Spurs have an option, or Harry Kane has an option to come back to Spurs, blah, blah, blah." And this is why I like this guy, because pretty much any other manager in the world not named Jose Mourinho would have been like, I only care about the players on my roster. He took the bait and he gave like a 3.5 minute, discussion on, I love this stuff, giving us something to talk about. And he was pretty much like, I would love him to be here, and there were comments under like, where is Sri Lanka? Is it chopped liver kind of thing? So we thank Thomas Frank for that. Do you think
we thank him.
Do you think Harry Kane would ever go back to Spurs?
I don't think so.
Okay. If he came back to England, I think he would try to go to Liverpool, or he would never go to Arsenal, obviously, even though that's his childhood club.
He's not coming back to England.
So you think he would try to play in Spain, like Lewandowski in his old age? You know,
No, so
no,
is he not old already? How old is Harry Kane?
but he doesn't run. He can play 5 more years, Inka. He doesn't
And
run.
so he will continue. He will continue to play where he is in Bayern.
You think so?
Why would he? Yeah, of course. He'll continue to
I
play
don't know.
where he is in Bayern,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And
We'll see.
once he's tired, he'll come to the US.
Ah, okay. Yeah. What's his name?
He's 32 years old already.
That's young, Yinka. That's young.
He'll join Son Heung-min,
Son.
or what's his, yeah. He'll join Son
Son
at
scored his first hat
LAFC.
trick. Yeah, he scored his first hat trick this past week.
The guy is just toying
And
with everybody in
yeah.
that place.
I think this is on us because we didn't actually talk about him moving to MLS. Like, what do we think happened? Like, he's young. What happened?
I didn't even know that he left.
Oh, that's crazy. I just saw.
I didn't know. I was just watching highlights of MLS, and I saw him.
No.
I'm like, hold on. I'm serious. I didn't know he left.
No, I saw.
I didn't know he left.
It was one of their last preseason games, and they talked about it, and he was crying, and they were applauding him, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? When did this happen? You know, so I actually saw it before he moved. So I don't know. What do you think is behind it?
No, he's just, maybe Spurs didn't want to give him or renew his contract. They needed to save money, and it was like, if that's it, let me go ride my horse into the sunset.
Why MLS?
Right.
Why MLS?
See, so where else would he go? I don't get it. See, it gets to a point you just want to play for fun and collect and have your money. Yeah, he's 33. Yeah, let me just go to LMLS, play chilled kind of football. Right? Maybe I want to retire in the US with my family. I love LA. I want to be in LA. Why is that hard for you to understand? It's perfectly normal.
It's still what? When he left, top 25 players in the league he plays in, right?
Back in his 33, and the Spurs that he was playing for, Spurs were not even playing him constantly anymore, right? They were beginning to bench him, play some games, don't play some games. And he's like, see, I don't want much. I just want to have fun, enjoy myself. Let me go where they want me. If y'all don't want me, it's fine. I respect you guys so much that I will not play for another EPL team, right?
Yeah.
And maybe nobody in Europe wanted him, and he went to LA.
Yeah, his game is predicated on speed, so that could be it. You know, kind of like Gareth Bale. He's a little more skilled than Gareth Bale, but his game is predicated on speed. So I mean, your speed is the first thing to go, no matter how great you are. And I don't see him like becoming like a central midfielder, becoming a PLO. That's just not his thing.
He doesn't have the skill set.
Okay, Inka, let's go to Italy real quick. Let's do in 30 quick seconds some of the stuff going on in Syria.
So don't look now. Syria is looking very, very interesting. The gap between first and seventh is just 3 points. Okay. Napoli lost to Milan earlier on today. Milan is looking like a very, very decent side, if I must say. Yeah, quite impressed with the way they're playing. Napoli got a dubious penalty and a red card, and it still didn't matter. They still won their game today. So kudos to major kudos to Milan. Inter are still somewhere down there. They're not in the mix. Roma, Juve, Napoli, and AC Milan I think they're the top four right now. So we might have a league in Syria. We might have a major, maybe 4 or 5 off race in Syria, although it's still early, but it seems as if there are a number of teams that are maybe at the same level, and you can't really see that much difference. There is no clear contender right now, which is often not the case. By this time last year, either Napoli or Inter were already ahead of the pack, you know?
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. Let's see what Syria brings to us in the future.
And you were a skeptic of Milan, so I'm glad they're proving you wrong.
Must you always remind me?
I must though.
I actually
must.
like Milan. You know this now. My team in Serie
Yeah.
A is Milan.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's the coach I just can't get by. I'm sorry,
yes.
man.
It's okay. It's okay.
I can't get by. Anyway.
All right. So we have a lot to talk about in the EPL. So
yes,
let's do, I'm just going to call it the Madrid Derby because that was something. Inka, we're going to go to La Liga. I did not watch Atletico hosting their cross-city rivals, Real Madrid. But I will remind everyone that you have been a Real Madrid booster this season. I warned you. I told you their defense is still not real, but you refused to listen. So speak for yourself, Yinka. How did you all ship 5 goals against a team that really doesn't want to play any attacking football?
Okay, so you said it best last week when we were discussing, when we were previewing this game. You said that it's a derby and anything can happen, right?
That's
so
true.
I'm just gonna line up behind you, right? and just say that's what happened. So unfortunately, I also didn't watch the game. You remember we were chatting and I'm like, what's going on? You people didn't tell me the match. What's going on? So I didn't watch the game. I was on the road. But interestingly, I saw the highlights, right? The game was quite balanced at 2-2, right? And after that third goal, which in my opinion, I don't know what's a penalty these days, frankly, but I'm not going to argue. If it's given, it's given, right? Right? Because what I thought happened was the leg got there before the head, yeah? Right? The leg kicked the ball and the guy, it was the head that hit the foot, not the foot hitting the head.
I don't think it matters, but okay.
See, we have come to realize that these things matter. Before we thought it didn't, but since Brighton, Saliba headbutted someone, and they said somebody's hurt got there first. So these things now matter. Pedro. That's what they João Pedro. So these things now matter. That's all I'm saying, right? It now matters, but that's still. I think I will give kudos to Julian Alvarez more than I give to your friend Simeone. Yeah, I think Julian Alvarez brilliance, right, was what unlocked and undid Madrid. Yeah. He doesn't deserve to be is that the right way to put it?
No, he doesn't deserve to be under the tutelage of Simeone. It's not the club that you have a problem with.
It's not the club that I have a problem with. It's the coach that I have a problem with. You've given a Ferrari to a truck driver, like I always say.
So, Yinka, I think you've been way too harsh on Simeone. So let's get some things out of the way, right? So Simeone is very similar to Conte, right? There's some quirks in world football coaching that don't make sense. Conte in his first or second season will win the league for you. It's proven that wherever he goes, he will win. It would take a 10th place Chelsea. They were underachieving at 10th, right? They were not Man U this season, to be fair, but they were listless. They had Eden Hazard that didn't really want to play, and it took them from 10th with no hope to the championship, and it wasn't really that close that season, if I remember correctly, right? So we know this man can coach, right? I'm talking of Conte now, but Conte in Europe has been abysmal. I can't explain it. No one can explain it. He hasn't done anything in Europe. I think he's at like 7 or so Champions League campaigns. I don't think he's ever made the quarterfinals. I think he's maybe made the round of 16 once. He hasn't done anything that you and I will remember, right? Now, go to Simeone, right? Simeone has made some noise in Europe.
Yeah.
Right? He's at the same team, the same club, not the same team. He's at the same club. They've wasted a ton of money on parts that don't fit, which is why I was a little worried about Andrea Berta when Berta was coming to us. I'm like, there were some hits. There's been very high profile misses. Was it the recruiting or was it the coaching? Right? But Julian Alvarez is not one of those misses. You said something, it was almost like a throwaway comment last week when you said Alvarez is going to come to Arsenal in a season or two. Yinka, I cannot think of a more perfect striker for the club I support. I literally cannot think about it. This guy, is he a number 9 or is he not? Is he a supporting striker in a big little 4-4-2? Is he a left winger? Is he a right winger? Is he a number 10? Is he a false 9? Is he a left 8 or a right 8? He can play everything ahead of the CDM.
Yes.
And I'm sure in a pinch, if you put him at CDM, you'll be fine. He's a brilliant. Inca is a slightly bigger, slightly more skilled or more purposeful Gabriel Jesus.
Not necessarily bigger, right?
It's a little taller. But you're right. You're right. Jesus is thick.
Jesus is thick. But
and plays big. Jesus plays big. You're right.
Yeah. Everything you said is correct, but you've missed out on the most important thing about this guy.
Tell me.
He's a bloody hard worker.
Yes.
He doesn't get tired. It's like he has an Energizer pack in his... He runs the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah.
He does not get tired. You can't see... See, even if he's not playing well, the effort is there. And this is what English fans say, we want to see the effort. But this is a guy, he doesn't even need that effort. They are the kind of players that is so good, he can say, I will indulge your laziness. But he's not even lazy.
No.
You know? So I think that Madrid derby was down to his brilliance, right? And also,
he wasn't there the game before, right? The game before where we were disappointed, he was injured. So having him, having Soloth, having, everyone available. And you said, I said anything can happen, but you missed out the other thing I said. I said, one-off, I think Simeone can out-coach Xabi. As much as I love Xabi. Xabi has had 1-2 great seasons in Germany. Did he catch lightning in a bottle, or is he a seasoned manager? I don't think he's a seasoned manager yet. I don't know what he would do over 38 games in La Liga, but I know in a must win, I gotta go with Simeone. Simeone has, even if his natural instinct is to frustrate you, he knows how to do that. He's the closest thing we have to Mourinho. It's not Mourinho, don't get me wrong. Mourinho was a genius, right? But it's the closest thing we have to Mourinho in today's game. And whether we like it or not, he can inspire a team. You and I may not like the results or the tactics, but he can inspire a team.
I agree. But if you look at the table, bigger picture, right? Which I have in front of me, Madrid are just 1 point behind Barca. Yeah?
Early days.
So like I said, early days, yeah? Who's going to win the league is going to be between the two of them.
It's Barcelona.
Right?
Stop this wishy-washy thing.
So hear me again. Hear me again. I watched Barcelona again today. I watched them play again today, right? I told you this about Liverpool, and it eventually happened. We'll talk about it. If you keep on flying too close to the sun, you will eventually get burnt. This is like the fourth game, maybe third, that Barca will go behind first, then have to come back. Yeah? It happened midweek against Oviedo. It happened today against Sociedad. On a good day, today's game, it could have ended draw. Sociedad could have won. Yeah? They brought on Yamin Yamal. He worked his magic. Assist for Lewandowski. Lewandowski scored, right? So, looking at Barca, yeah, I will still say probably the toughest game they've had this season is away to Newcastle.
Yeah,
which is the honest
Newcastle made a very strong effort trying to come back.
And it was individual brilliance from Rashford, right, that got them out of there. Two brilliant goals. So it's the same. It's just like you're looking at Liverpool. You're flying too close to the sunbed. So I don't think it's as crystal clear, right, as you guys say. Oh, Barca will win. It's going to be one of the two of them, and I'm just calling it as I see it, right. Based on the start of the season before this Madrid game, what Atletico Madrid did to Real, they could easily do same to Barca. Easily.
So hypothetically, yes, right? Anything can happen. High profile match. I mean, because you and I could not have predicted that
5-2.
Inter Milan,
no,
that Inter Milan of last season would have done to Barcelona what they did to Barcelona over 2 legs.
Yeah.
We couldn't have predicted it. Or that Inter of last season would go into a match and forget how to defend. And instead spend all their energy scoring goals and coming from behind. I mean, so indeed anything can happen. But what is more likely to happen is the question. What is more likely to happen?
Yeah.
I don't think 5-2 against Barcelona is likely to happen. So I will tell you what our friend Rose said. You were there. Yeah. And Rose said, forget about, when you're talking about his club, forget about defense. He's like, we don't play defense. That's never what we do. We will outscore you. That's been in our DNA. You mentioned that, but, you guys used to be the king of tiki-taka, blah, blah, blah. And he said, yeah, we still are.
No, you're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. That's the difference. So now, Aki, Barca didn't need to defend in the past because you had the ball. You had the ball.
You had 80% possession.
You had 80% possession. So Puyol and what's his name, Piqué, were more or less midfielders.
Puyol, Piqué, Eric Abidal, all those guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you've watched Barca in recent times, I watched the game today, Aki. The control is not there as it used to be. Hell no, it wasn't. It's not. That's all I'm saying.
You can remember what I said. I think the spiritual leader of this Barcelona team is Rafinha, right? And Rafinha's game is not a tiki-taka game. It's a give me the ball and get out of the way game. It's speed, athletic prowess, and ramming the ball down the throat of the opponent. So he's the spiritual leader of this team. Unfortunately, the technical leaders of the team don't lead the locker room. Pedri is not the leader of that locker room. Pedri is the little boy that everybody pats on the head when he has a good game. Gavi has a little more spike in him, but no one is looking to Gavi as a leader.
Yeah.
Kubarsi could become the best defender in the world, but he doesn't speak. So the best technical players, at Barcelona have no leadership, at least not yet. Iniesta, even though he was a easygoing, perfect gentleman, was a leader. Xavi was a leader. Puyol was a fiery leader. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But so the back in the day, those legendary teams that we keep talking about, they were both the spiritual leaders and the technical leaders. And that's not the case. So Barcelona is playing against the backdrop of, the ghost of these guys, but the actual spiritual leader is more of a Real Madrid player. Rafinha is more of a Real Madrid player than you know what I'm saying? I think this is what you're saying that we're not articulating properly. Rafinha is not a Barcelona kind of guy.
But Eru will disagree with you.
I'm sure he will, but
it would be Rafinha is there, and I kind of agree with you, right? But the Barca DNA that we used to know is not. It's still
Rafinha would be more at home playing with a Vini Jr.
Yeah,
it would be than playing with a Pedri. What part of Rafinha's game meshes with Pedri? You know what I'm saying? It's not.
But to my point, as Eru will tell you, he says, right, as long as we have, what's his name? Pedri and the Dutch guy, what's his name again?
De Jong.
Yeah, and De Jong, right, that they will be fine. So I want to interpret that as those are our spiritual leaders, as you put it, or those are the leaders that we have in the team. And those are the important people to us as a team, right? It's correct. Once Pedri is there, they look different. Pedri is the closest thing I've seen to Xavi.
Of course, he's brilliant.
He's brilliant. He is brilliant. And De Jong, if not for injury, he's for me, he would have been one of the best midfielders in the world. But injuries really, really robbed us of seeing him. Seeing his best. But hey, the season is young. Yeah, it is.
I
So
like that. I like that. This is not the Barcelona we will see by the end of the season.
yeah,
This is
no,
6 games in. Things will
no,
happen. People will get
things will
injured. All
happen.
of that.
Yeah. But last point on that, on La Liga in general, Marcus Rashford is looking better by the day.
Will he get a contract at Barcelona? Will he be the
I
next Lewandowski?
I I don't know, but if the first 5-6 games are anything to go by, I will be shocked if they don't give him.
I'll be
I will
happy
be
for him.
shocked if they
I
don't.
hope he
I'll be
gets
happy
it.
for him. But like we said
I
last
hope he
week,
gets it.
the things he lacks, Baka don't need it. So
Mm,
it's perfect for him. Perfect for him.
Okay.
Anyway, that's
All right.
La Liga.
So, Yinka, let's go to the EPL. There's a couple things that happened. Chelsea lost. They were home, and they lost to, was it Brighton? One of the B teams. Was it Brighton?
Yeah, they lost to Brighton. Brighton, yes.
Man U lost to Brentford, the other B team. Who was home? Was it
Brentford? Brentford was.
Brentford were home. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they both lose 3-1? They both lost 3-1, right? I don't have it in front of me.
They both lost 3-1. Yes. They both lost 3-1.
Amorim is yet to win 10 matches in the EPL. In his Spurs almost lost to Wolves, right? Probably should have lost. Paulinho scored a screamer.
He scored and he was celebrating. I was wondering.
I mean, he hit. Okay.
Go ahead.
Graham Potter finally got fired. They play tomorrow. By the time this episode is out, the game probably would have been played or would have been in progress. Nuno Espirito Santos got the job at West Ham. I don't know if it's a fit, but every time a black man gets a job I'm happy. So, more financial security. I'm here for it. We like him. I especially like the new him that does not take nonsense.
Yeah.
I love that he's spiky and he orchestrated his own departure from Nottingham, and he got a job within what, 3 weeks. I'm happy for him. Long may that continue.
Amen.
Liverpool lost to the only undefeated team in England right now, Crystal Palace.
Yep.
Yinka, they are now 18 games undefeated in all competitions going back to last season.
Yep.
And they haven't lost this season in the league. Are they number 3 now behind Arsenal?
They're number 3 now behind Arsenal.
And Yinka, I mean, I'm rattling all this stuff off, but maybe we should start with Crystal Palace versus Liverpool.
Yes.
What stood out to me, obviously, was the Ekatike midweek celebration that earned him a second yellow and thus a red card, which is amazing. The coach, instead of protecting him, coming out and savaging the hell out of him, called him stupid twice. Again, these are things that never happen. It's a little refreshing, if a little disturbing, but it's refreshing nonetheless. And of course, because that was domestic competition, he was suspended. He could not be on the bench. He could not play. Like I said last week, what's his face? Isak was not ready.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready. He started, looked a shadow of himself. Wirtz looks like a bust, if I could say it myself right now. It looks like a bust. The manager didn't know, can I bench him 2 big games in a row? I mean, this man cost 125 million pounds, 125 million euros, 160 million pounds, even though it's probably money laundering. Doesn't matter. That's how much it costs. You can't play him on the left because it doesn't track back. And Gakpo is much better on the left.
Yeah.
Apparently, you also can't play him at cam because they bump him off and he's not strong enough. What is he doing, Yinka? Why would you pay that much money and you can't play him in your biggest games? Go.
So, first things first, I don't think Slot considered Crystal Palace A big game.
Oh, wow. They beat them before. Crystal Palace beat them before.
I'm just telling you. I don't think he did. That's one.
Oof.
That's one. Because if he did, I don't think he will be starting Gakpo on the bench, or starting Gakpo wherever Gakpo was, or starting Wirtz on the left, which
that's crazy.
He has never played left for Germany. He never played left for Leverkusen. So
it's a central midfielder. Central attacking midfielder. Yeah.
Now, going back to your camp point that they're bumping him off. So this is how you will need to adjust to the Premier League, right? I told you in the Bundesliga, they let you play. I know I'm fast tracking. Did you watch? You watched the Arsenal game this evening? You saw how physical it was.
Did I watch the Arsenal game this evening?
You saw how physical it was.
My son is still traumatized from my screams when we scored the 2 goals. Did I watch the Arsenal game? Look at this guy. Keep talking.
So my point is, you see the physicality, yeah? He needs to adjust to that. So which is why I know the price tag is high. You didn't buy him for one season.
It's ridiculous.
But you didn't buy him for one season. You bought him for a long time. So you need to bed him in. You can't just throw him into the deep end. Yeah, you are messing up your own investment if you do that. That is stupid, right? And when you see that he needs a breather, you need to give him a breather. It's as simple as that. You need to give him a breather, right? So when new players come into clubs and you see experienced managers bet them in, say sit on the bench a bit, watch a bit, there is a reason for that, yeah? You don't want to break the guy mentally by putting him in when he is not mentally, physically ready to really perform, if you get what I mean, right? So Wirtz will be fine. I don't have.
I'm not sure.
Talent is talent.
I'm not sure, Inka.
Odegaard, right, is probably as skinny, if not skinnier, than Wirtz.
But there's a big difference between them.
Hold on. When Odegaard had his first season in this EPL, we had the same problem with him. He was turning people inside out from coming from La Liga. When he got here, he struggled with the physicality. He had to bulk up, right? He had to. And even till today, a small shoulder badge, his shoulder has dislocated already. You see what I'm saying? Right? So it takes a while for you to understand, these are my pockets. This is where I can perform. This is where I need to do this. I don't think 5 games, 6 games judging Wirtz is fair on him, right? But the coach needs to be careful. The coach needs to be extremely careful, yeah? I think this team is not... I said this when we were doing the season, the summer window reviews. Yeah, I said, I think they spent too much on too little, right? There's like imbalance here and there, and with injuries, the team will be rocked a lot more. If Salah gets injured, who's going to play Salah's position?
Gakpo.
I absolutely forgot Harvey Elliott had gone to Villa until I saw him again this morning. I'm like, this guy is not at Liverpool. So if Salah goes for Nations Cup in December, who's going to play Salah's position? Is it Chiesa?
Don't look now. He keeps scoring.
No, but are you sure Chiesa will stay fit for the next 3 games?
I know. No, he had a major injury. He's not an injury-prone guy. He just had a really, really bad injury.
Well, that's my point. That's my point. Anyway.
You're familiar with baseball, right?
Yes.
Familiar enough. Okay. You know the American saying from baseball about life, that when they say someone was born on third base, right? But they think they hit a home run or whatever. I'm probably messing it all up, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
When you're born with a silver spoon, but you think it was all your own hard work. Yeah. I think Slot is in that place right now. I think Slot misjudged where his squad was at the end of last season, right? So I think he missed the nuance of why they won by so much. It wasn't all his brilliance. And you and I like him. You and I think his man management was not perfect, but it was really, really good. Yeah. You and I think his bosses made a great decision to not go crazy buying players a year ago because they were already changing so much. You know, transitioning from a legendary coach to a new guy, we see Man U still struggling from it. We see we see Arsenal struggle for many years from it, right? To make a seamless transition, and Klopp is as legendary as any of these guys. You know, he didn't spend as long, but it was very impactful. So the Liverpool hierarchy made a great decision that we're not going to change the coach and change the players. You know, we bought enough the last year of Klopp. Some injuries happened. Now we're ready to cook. But to bring a relic back, I'm ready to make that call that they bought the wrong profile of midfielder. I'm ready to make that call right now. Because you're talking Odegaard. He doesn't remind me of Odegaard. You know who he reminds me of? Who was the guy they sold to Barcelona to buy Van Dijk and Alisson?
Coutinho?
Coutinho is who he reminds me of.
Well, Coutinho was a super player for Liverpool. That's who he reminds you for.
But what did they win with him? What did they do with him? Who did he make better? It was a very different time. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a relic. There's no number 10s in world football anymore that are really successful. You know, the one thing you left out about your Odegaard point was it came into a new system. There's no number 10s. They play him as a right 8, not as a cam. You know, when he came in today, where did they put him? It was pretty much in the Pirlo position. You know, so if you think you can come in here and be all twinkle-toed in the Premier League, there's no successful team that plays a cam in the Premier League. They ran Ozil out of the league. I'll keep quiet and you tell me a successful cam in the Premier League. It's dead. The number 10 is dead. You have to be able to do other things, Yinka.
Not necessarily.
Buendia?
Right? I get what you're saying, but not necessarily. Okay,
I'm listening.
So when Eze was at Crystal Palace, Eze was given the freedom, right, to do whatever he wanted to do, right?
Eze is also twice the size of you.
But hear me out now. Little defensive responsibilities, because they had either Kamada or Lema or whoever behind him to do all that. Just go work your magic. So if a team has a player that is of that talent, you can say, you know what, we know you will work your magic for us. Leave the defensive responsibilities. Gravenberch and McAllister will take care of you, right? Gravenberch and Szoboszlai will take care of you. You just be in front of them, work your magic for Salah, for Isak, and for Gakpo. Yeah? It's possible. Is it going to work? I don't know.
Exactly.
Right?
As it worked in the last 7-8 seasons in the EPL, not for Argentina, Messi, because this guy is not Messi. As it worked for any Pep teams, David Silva had to put in some work. It might. KDB, you don't know. Had to put in some work.
But to some extent, KDB didn't have as much defensive responsibilities.
But he had to do other things.
No. But so it's not as if Verstu can do that. I know we're going back and forth on this, but the point is, I hear what you're saying. You're right to some extent, but the sample size is too small for us to reach that conclusion that it will not work, or he will not work, right? The talent is undoubtedly there. It is there. He is one of the most, mobile, skillful German players that we've seen. Fleet-footed. Yeah. We saw what he did at Leverkusen, what he's been doing for the German national team. He's a good player. I dare say he's a great player. Yeah.
He's a great plair.
The sample size is too small, man. Let's give him time. Let's give Slot time. My worry for Liverpool is, in that game, could have, like you said, I watched the highlights. Crystal Palace should have beat them more than the 2-1.
It should have been 5-1. And the 1 would have been aided by the referee. It could have been 5-0.
And that 1 was actually aided by the referee.
Yeah.
What was that? The guy handled the ball.
He did.
And VAR looked at it and they said they didn't handle the ball. I'm like, sorry. Anyway, before I don't want to rant about refs yet.
So
Let's move on.
one, quick one. Salah was pushed and then he handled the ball. So what VAR should have said was there was a push, right? So the handball doesn't matter. If that was what they said, I can live with it. If what they said was don't believe your lying eyes, that wasn't a handball, then I cannot live with that. But it was
But that's
pushed.
what they
But
said.
now, no, but I know. But if that was a push, then so was the push on Gabriel today. But so let's quickly transition.
It wasn't a push and it was handball. That's my conclusion. Anyway.
So, but anyway, last week everybody was going crazy about Arsenal. You know, we gave the pundits so much to talk about. Handbrake Arteta, this, that, and the other. I continue to be so disappointed in humans. I've asked you people to do better. You've shown me that you cannot. I don't know where to go with this. Like I said at the beginning, there was an opportunity for Liverpool to go 8 points ahead. Now they're only 2. So should Slot be fired? Should Liverpool be burned down? Should they sell all their players? Because that's what people were saying a week ago about Arsenal, you know? And you know what? You know, just go. And I don't even know what to say anymore.
Okay, I have a lot to say.
Go.
So to start with, yeah, everything you said about last week, I totally agree with you. It's nonsense, right? And you could see the flip today. Okay? So, Eze started the game. He had a fantastic game, by the way. A fantastic game.
Played through the middle.
Played through the middle. Everybody wanted him to play. But the truth of the matter is, we did not, up until Merino and Odegaard came in, right? Arsenal were losing, right? And they brought Odegaard and Merino in. All of a sudden, Arsenal won, and everybody seems to just ignored that part of the coach has the understanding of the team. He's more with the team than the rest of us. So he knows, okay, for this particular game, maybe if I tweak it this way, it will work. Or let me tweak it that way. So it's not every time you come and you say, oh, what you did was wrong. Because if Odegaard and Merino didn't come in today and that game ended 1-0 in favor of Newcastle, I can bet you nobody will come out and say, oh, Arteta got it wrong.
No.
Oh, but we lost.
Yeah.
But we lost. So my point is very, very simple. We need to move beyond this stuff, right? The team is at the coach's disposal. There will be different ways you attack stuff. And there'll be multiple times where the team will not click and you will need to change stuff. And when you change stuff, it might end up in a win, it might end up in a draw, you might even end up losing the game. That doesn't mean the coach is rubbish. That doesn't mean the coach should be fired. That doesn't mean lick. All it means is you have a coach that is doing what? That is flexible enough, that is learning on the fly, and that is willing to try new things. Right? So this nonsense of Arsenal fans blaming Arteta for every single thing, it has to stop. It has to stop. So that's me defending Arteta. That's one. Number 2, Newcastle are the most physical team I've ever seen. And their physicality gets an oomph, they dial it up a bit when they're playing Arsenal. Right? And today's game, minute 1, Joelinton had a foul.
Should have been a yellow.
Which should have been a yellow, and the ref said played on. That set the tone for the game.
It was a foul. They called a foul. They just didn't give a yellow. They called a foul.
Give a yellow. That set the tone for the game. And Newcastle said, we're going to rough handle you guys. And they did it from minute 1 till the end of the game, and the ref just kept on ignoring. The game became like a boxing bout. And this is every time Arsenal play Newcastle at St. James's Park. This is exactly what happens. Funny enough, the first yellow card of the game was given to an Arsenal player.
Yeah.
And when they gave Calafiori the yellow card, you messaged me, you're like, can you imagine? And I'm like, that's his first tackle and that's his first yellow card.
That's a yellow card. And I told you, I'm like, the betting public probably bet on this, that Arsenal will get the first yellow. That's how predictably terrible the referees are.
Now, talking about the game itself, Aki, right? That first 45 minutes was perfect. Arsenal took the game to Newcastle and was like, you guys want to be physical, no problem. We will play through the ranks, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna show you how, that we're up for this. We're not gonna cower like we did when we came here 2 seasons ago, last season when we lost.
Yeah.
We are bringing the game to you. Several chances, saves by Pope, 2 shots from Eze. Trossard hit the post. Then the penalty happened. So I'm going to just use this opportunity to talk about refs in general, right?
Go for it.
This week. So, Akin, there were 3 games. Fulham played Aston Villa earlier on today. While that game was going on, I messaged you. I said, Akin, one of your most accurate takes ever will be the fact that the refs hate Marco Silva more than they hate Mikel Arteta.
The coach of Fulham. Yeah.
The coach of Fulham. You are absolutely spot on. Fulham had 2 clear penalties. One, Josh King, that they denied him. They cancelled his goal against Chelsea again. He was 1-on-1 with Martinez.
Wiped out.
He put the ball on the side and wanted to run this way. Martinez wiped him out. They gave him a yellow card. They said he was already going down.
They said it was a dive, Yinka.
They said he was already going down. It was a dive. And I looked at that thing multiple times. I'm like, VAR looked at this and said this is a dive?
Yeah.
And they gave the kid a yellow card. All the footballers, the pundits that we had in the studio today was Jamie Redknapp and who was the other guy? I can't remember who he was. The 2 of them were like, there's no way. There's no way. That's a stonewall penalty. Stonewall penalty. What do you mean by he was already going down? What does that mean? That's the first one. The second one, same player, dribbled 3 players, shot the ball. Cash went this way. His hand went the other way like this. And they said the hand was in a natural position. Marco Silva was livid on the touchline, Aki. He was livid. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Now, the games yesterday, I know Man U fans and all I get it. You guys banter them. I don't anymore. I
do banter them. They deserve it, but go on.
I don't banter them anymore. They had a doxo yesterday, Akin, which is what I told you the other day. That's my interpretation of doxo.
That's your pet project.
The defender cynically pulled Mbeumo back.
Yeah.
That's a red card. They now said because Mbeumo wasn't in possession of the ball. What do you mean he wasn't in possession of the ball?
You don't have to be in possession to be denied a goal scoring opportunity.
They said you have to. That's what they said.
If you kick the ball past the defender and you're closer to the ball or faster than the defender and you go around the defender to go get the ball and it's just you and the goalkeeper and the defender pulls you down, you don't have to be in control of the ball. Okay?
Akin, I saw that and I remembered our discussion. Yeah. And I was like, this is what I was telling Akin. This is more of a red card than all those last man tackle. The guy was ahead of him. He cynically pulled him back.
Yeah.
And they only gave a penalty, which they say men lie when ball don't lie. But Bruno Fernandes decided
He's another story. He's just a miserable guy. He needs to go to Saudi.
Okay, so the Arsenal penalty today, as you will see, they said Pope actually touched the ball before he kneed Gyökeres. Now, my point is, I don't know where this rule came from, but between last week and this week, the rules must have changed because Sanchez last week got the ball before he cleared out Mbeumo and he was sent off, Akin. He was red carded. So between last week and this week, for you to move from that being a sending off offense to a drop ball, it's beyond me. And even if you want to break it down logically, right? When you tackle, let's say it was his foot that he used to get the ball, that he actually then caught Gyökeres with, I will understand. These are 2 different parts of the body, right? He need him. There is no way that is not a penalty. That is so stonewalled that when VAR said they were going to check, I thought they were going to check for offside. That was what I was worried about. But I was like, it was a back pass now. It wasn't Saka that passed the ball. So why are they checking offside? But to your point, you mentioned to me later that you said the VAR was indeed trying to convince the referee that his on-field decision was wrong. And I'm like...
the referee wasn't saying it. He wasn't agreeing. Because, the commentators have the VAR feed. So they could hear it. So they were telling us. And then if you saw Saka's interview later, what he said was, if it's taking that long to review, then it's not clear, it's not obvious.
It's not clear, it's not obvious.
It's not a clear and obvious error. Plus, the referee had a very good view of it, right? And my big problem, and I know you disagree with this, right?
Yes.
Their goal, I can acknowledge when we make mistakes, right? Mosquera had a mistake. In my opinion, he's only made 2 clear defensive mistakes.
Yeah.
Since he's been playing for Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
The one against Port Vale, in midweek, it wasn't determinative, thank God.
Yeah.
The one today almost was, right? It kind of sliced the ball, kind of skied it, went for a corner, played a short corner routine. But Yinka, for me, you cannot go 2 hands to a player's back outside of the box. Every time you do this to a player in front of you, when I learned this, Yinka, I know your memory is like an elephant, right? Do you remember Nigeria Super Eagles' 3rd match at USA 94? Who did we play?
We played Argentina. Was it Greece or Argentina?
No, Greece. It was Bulgaria, Argentina, Greece.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the Greece number 9. But you know what I do remember? I remember it kept coming under Uche Okechukwu.
Yeah.
Okechukwu kept heading over him.
And he kept on giving free kick.
Getting called for the foul.
Yeah.
So it was at 14 years old that I learned this, Yinka. Sometimes even when you're just, your only offense is you're bigger and stronger. When the guy comes underneath you, outside the box, and you make a clean football play, they call the foul. So why are we not calling it in the box? This man, there were 2 people. Now, you can argue that, what's his face? Gabriel should have been stronger. Gabriel should have had the guy in front of him, not at the back of him. All of that is fine. But you also don't have to be perfect to get a call. You don't have to play mistake-free football to get a call. So I don't think it should be legal to be able to put 2 hands on someone, right? Get them out of the way. You step into their position and head the ball into the net. That just seems unfair to me. I could be wrong, and I think we need to have a discussion on if it's a foul outside the box, it's a foul in the box. No more, no less. Referees need to stop glorifying the box and making it harder to get a foul in the box, or they need to make it harder to get a foul outside the box. Yinka, it can't be both.
I can. What you said is true, but the problem is not whether it's a foul or not. The problem is the consistency. Me, personally, I don't think that's a foul. But to your point, we've seen them give it, right?
We see them give it all the time.
But I don't think... I don't think it's a foul. There's a See, football is a contact sport. If I touch you, that doesn't mean it's a foul. So it's left for the refs to know whether there was a push, right? Or there wasn't. 3 seasons ago, Joelinton pushed Gabriel. They didn't give it then. This is way lighter than that. This was just, it wasn't, for me, I don't think
that was a foul.
That was a foul.
Joelinton was a foul.
That was a foul. That wasn't even a yellow card. That wasn't even a foul. It should have been a yellow card. It was so bad a foul, right? But this one, nah. But I get your point. You shouldn't glorify the penalty box. But the issue is consistency. They've given so many flimsy, very, very flimsy free kicks outside of the box, right? That they now get into the box, they be like, I can't give this now, right?
You know when what they give all the time? You know what they give all the time?
What?
You're shielding the ball at the byline. You're shielding.
And you go down.
The guy's trying to get the ball off you.
And it goes
the guy
down.
Pushes you. You go down. Foul all the time.
All the time. But in the penalty box, they won't give it. But that's not a foul also. People dive outside. People dive outside of the box. And the ref said it's a free kick, but they do the same dive in the box. They will give you a yellow penalty. I mean, a yellow card for diving.
Yeah,
it's wrong. But that's the problem with refereeing, right? They have so boxed themselves into a corner, right? I'll send you video of what's his name? Howard Webb. Howard Webb talking to what's his name? Michael Owen, explaining why Saliba and Joao Pedro last season was a penalty.
Was a foul.
He said the fact that you got the ball first does not matter. If you still follow through, it's a penalty. He said it.
And he was right.
He said it.
And he was right.
So how come he was right last year, he was right last week, and all of a sudden this week is wrong?
I think this week was the worst of all of them, just to be honest, because the touch on the ball was microscopic. The foul on Gyökeres was massive. It was not microscopic.
It was not microscopic.
You know what I mean? So the man at the VAR was looking for a way not to give.
The Liverpool
that's
fans.
not the spirit of the law.
But I've told you this.
That's not the spirit of the law.
When it comes to Arsenal and Fulham, I'll be adding Fulham to it henceforth. I will always add Fulham. When it comes to Arsenal and Fulham, I don't know whatever it is Marco Silva did for them. When it comes to those two teams, they look for a way to mess them up. That's my conclusion. So if you said it's incompetence, I've always told you it's bias, and that bias is coming from something. I don't know what it is. I hope it's not corruption. I hope it's not. But you say it's incompetence, I'll let you have it. But moving forward, Aki, the game, the last 10 minutes, right? When Merino came on, right? Declan Rice had a fantastic game, by the way.
It was.
This was arguably one of his best games, probably his best game this season.
It will be man of the match for me.
It will be man of the match for me too. That pass to Merino, right? That glancing header. I've said it. Merino is youth coach. They should be flogged. That guy should have been a striker, not a midfielder, right? Then when the ref brought up 8 minutes, Arteta asked him, how many minutes? He said 8. He called out to...
And he went like this.
He went like this. He
told
said,
everybody.
He was saying, Ebbs. I think maybe Eberechi was one closest to him. It was like 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Go.
Yeah.
That means he was saying, we need to go win this.
We need to win it. Yeah.
We need to win this. So all the people that keep saying he's scared of losing, at that point, you could have said, oh, guys, let's hold it to, let's just take this 1-1 and get out of here. But that wasn't the message. It was like, let's go win this stuff. Right? And I'm happy for Gabriel. He atoned for his earlier mistake, in my opinion, right? But Odegaard came on board, and everybody that has been shouting and saying Odegaard, the only reason Odegaard is playing ahead of Eze is because Arteta likes him, blah, 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 blah. You saw what he could do. You saw the game, everything changed when he started orchestrating, right? So when a player is lacking confidence, as fans, you should try and find a way to build that confidence. If he's lacking match fitness, give him that leeway, right? You've seen him at his best. You know where he can get to. Our job as fans is to try and help him to get there. Not keep talking down on him and say, get out of my club. You're this, you're washed. It's rubbish. Anyway, I'm happy Arsenal won. I won't lie to you. I was super excited.
Yinka, a couple things. We have to wrap. We've had, by the way, you're not going to know this, people watching, but we've had some terrible, terrible luck with technology today.
Yeah, we have.
So we've pretty much had, a few false starts and restarts, but, we do this for our people. It's all good.
It's all good.
A couple things, Yinka, and then we'll wrap. I don't think people understand Arteta. I don't think they've taken the time to understand him. When it comes to Arteta, I'm always very clear-eyed when I do my analysis. And the reason is, one, I told you, is one of my favorite players that ever played for Arsenal. I've said this many times.
Yes,
and frankly, it was one of my favorite non-Arsenal players when it was at Everton. I loved Arteta, the number 10. Simeone. It was amazing.
Yep.
And all of this was me just watching in real time, not knowing his backstory. Now that I know his backstory, I like him even more. There's a podcast or interview that he did with Ali McCoist. I believe Ali McCoist was a Rangers legend. Rangers in Scotland. I encourage everyone to go watch it. It's less than 30 minutes. It's a quick watch where they talk about how he came up, how PSG came and got him at 15, right? And how he was thrust into, the senior team right away, and then how some shenanigans happened, and then he went to Rangers, and how he was always seeking that new experience. Everything he says about himself does not align with this caricature that the Arsenal fans and the pundits have built about him. The humility to say till this day that he didn't think he was ready for the Arsenal opportunity. And what's his name? Pep was like, I will kick your ass if you don't go. Pep was like, of course you're ready. And Arteta was like, I've never managed anything before, including U16s. I've never been a manager before. This doesn't make sense. So for me, I think I just respect professionals more than these people do. Because for me, I know, Nika, I've never done your job before, but I know what it takes to get to where you got to professionally. And, I know what that takes. So it doesn't mean you have the right temperament for your job. It doesn't mean you're a good boss. Maybe you're a terrible boss. Yeah. Maybe when you walk in, people go hide or whatever, right? But the discipline it's taken for you to get to where you get to, I respect that. I think that's why I'm always on the opposite end of what the masses are saying. Because you can say whatever you want about Arteta, but he's a serious man. And to say he doesn't want to win, or look, I think what people are missing is he has to trust you to put you in a position where he knows for sure you're not going to hurt the team. I think that's what it is. And he trusts Martinelli, and I would argue that Martinelli has earned that trust. He trusts Saka, and he respects work. I don't think Saka had his most brilliant game today, but what he had was one of the most hardworking displays I've ever seen from him. Knowing he just had surgery, and then he just hurt his other hamstring, which he didn't need surgery for. You could tell his explosion is not back. And they put two people on him. One of them 6'7". One of them 6'7". Now that guy against a healthy Saka in a foot race, but a compromised Saka, they succeeded in keeping him on the byline. So he had to have the guile. You saw how much he came inside. That's what Arteta, but I don't think people watch with that level of criticality. So that's what Arteta respects. Now, Eberechi Eze, no one is going to give him credit for his work rate. But what was amazing today was how is it in the back and then also in the front? How is it getting into those shooting positions? They just see the shot. They don't see the journey it took to get there. And the people who don't pay attention to this and they say, Eze is not an Arteta kind of player. I'm like, since when? Arteta came up with Okocha and Pochettino and Ronaldinho and Anelka. And Anelka was on those teams at PSG. And before that, it was at La Masia with Valdez, with Iniesta, with Xavi. So where is this thing coming from that Arteta doesn't want skilled, creative players? I don't get it, Nika.
To buttress your point, to show growth also on Arteta's side. 2 seasons ago, last season, Arteta wouldn't have taken off Saka today.
That's very true.
He ran. Partey was limping to the byline. He pushed him back into.
Back in.
Go and finish this match. But today was like,
that's true.
Even if we lose this game, I need this guy fit, right? I will trust my team. I'll take him out. I need to preserve him. Arteta wouldn't have done this 2 or 3 seasons ago. So these are the things you see that you say, this is a young manager who's willing to learn, who's growing with the team. He's not perfect. Nobody's saying he's perfect.
He's still only 43 years old.
Although these Arsenal cannot win anything with Arteta, it's ridiculous. Anyway, Akim, let's quickly talk about the upcoming games and we'll wrap this. Yeah, I'll just quickly run through. What we have.
Go for it.
So next week it's a Champions League week. No key games. The only key game is PSG Barcelona. Barcelona is at home, I believe. Yeah, Barcelona is at home. So a good game. Let's see what Barcelona can do for that. Then weekend, no key games per se. Do you consider Chelsea, Liverpool a key games? You call them world champions.
I do. No, I actually do. Both of them are coming in wounded.
But Chelsea,
and I continue to think Chelsea has talent. They have talent. They have talent, and they can hurt you if your defense is not well set. So I think it's a key game, Yinka.
They have talent. They don't have a team. Yeah. As it stands, all their fans are beginning to say, "Oh, this is Arsenal season." I'm like, no. Don't even start that nonsense. Don't start that nonsense. You support your team. Don't come to Arsenal side and say, your team should win. You're the one that spent 2 billion. Push your team to win. Ask for your team to win, right? So Chelsea, Liverpool next weekend. Then the second game is Juve Milan, right? Another key game from the Serie A. Those are the 3 key games coming through next week, actually. So, Akin, one way or the other, by hooks and by crooks, we have managed to come to the end of today's episode. Like Akin mentioned earlier on, you guys would have a clue, right, how tough this has been, right? We started recording like 3 hours ago just to get out 1 hour content. It's crazy. Anyway, things we do for the things we're passionate about. For the love of the game. Once again, guys, thank you very much. At this point, you all know what to do. You know my usual rant at this stage. Please continue to like, subscribe, engage us, send us questions. And before I even ask, I should have, appreciated the support so far. So once again, guys, we really appreciate it. We're not taking it for granted. Thank you very much. Akin, over to you.
Thank you, Inka. Thank you, everyone. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Arsenal. Who else? The Knicks. Go Knicks in 3 weeks. I don't know. I'm really happy today.
I was going to say up Kwara United, but unfortunately we lost Continental
Kwara United today. Lost. Our first love. Kwara Bombers, though.
Kwara Bombers
back in the day. Yeah.
Kwara United lost. Ashanti.
And they were stuck in Division 2 forever.
Yes, sir.
When we were growing up.
Ashanti Kotoko beat them in Abeokuta 1-0.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Let's talk about that next week while they were playing in Abeokuta. That's another story for another day.
We'll do that.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week, and goodbye.
Bye.